As time ticks by, be prepared for very offensive language throughout and adult and sexual themes. Stop it! Dropped me out, didn't I? Right in your face. You're Bronwyn Cole here. Go on, Brian. Oh, welcome to Big Brother's Bit on the Side. What a show it was tonight. Nick's got a new playmate. Bromances are brewing, and it would seem in the world of showbiz, it's not all smiles and jazz hands, is it? I'm just too good to be stripping on live TV now. I'm a total professional, so that's all you're getting, all right? Save the goods for the boy indoors, all right? Listen, tonight we've got a Bots exclusive for you. With his first TV appearance since his dramatic departure from the house, Aaron is going to be right here, and we're going to be asking him all the questions you wanted to know. Plus, we've got words of wisdom from the nation's favourite agony aunt, Denise Robertson, MBE. MBE. So much to talk about, and luckily today's panel have definitely got a lot to say, so let's get on and meet them. First up on the panel tonight is Glamourpuss turned Jungle Cat turned housemate Lioness. It's Nicola McLean. Waltzing in next is a man who is forbidden to dance around any subject. Give it up for James Jordan. And finally, we've got housemate royalty, winner of Big Brother 2010 and our favourite girl next door. It's that dirty mare, Josie Getson! Thanks so much for coming on. I love this panel already. Nick, let's start with you. What are you making of our newbies? I love them. I really do. Well, I can't stand showbiz. But do you know who I absolutely love? Is Mark. Oh. I absolutely love him. I'm sorry. Please don't start on me already. Honestly, I hated him to start with. I thought I couldn't even bear him, and now he's 100% my favourite. He's so funny. The facial expressions, he doesn't give a... He's one of you. You like him? He's like, I'd say he isn't quite a male version of me, but he's nearly there. Well, we're going to be talking. No one's quite a male version of you. Well, Jesus, God forbid. We're going to be talking about Mark a little bit later on, but James, let's talk about them all as a whole. Could you have lived with them? Yeah, I live with Gary Busey. I can live with anyone. What? Yeah, I mean, they actually seem like quite a decent bunch of people, again, apart from possibly Simon. Same as Nicola. I couldn't stand Mark at the beginning, but I think he's just a... You know, he likes banter. I think sometimes he takes it a little bit too far, I think. Yeah. But I think he's quite funny. I like him. We're going to talk about it later, but I do quite like the way he's sort of bit Team Eileen. Like, he's looking after her a bit. And he stirs it all the time. You need someone in there to stir it. When the shit hits the fan, stir it. Get your spoon out. Yeah. That's what we like to say. Jose, what's it like when newbies turn up? Because it's always going to be hard for them, isn't it? But it's going to be harder for the originals to deal with. Yeah, like, I loved our newbies, but it is like someone's come into your house and had a shit in your front room. It's like, you're like, oh, get away. And you all huddle together and sit... I've heard on good authority, people have actually shit in Josie's front room before. Yeah. You all sit together, you're like, oh, newbies, like, yeah. They put them up, family, yeah, it's like your little family, and they've come in and trodden all over your house. You think, what are you doing here? But it's good for us at home. It's good for us. Listen, we have got a load to talk about. I'm going to be talking to that lot a little bit later on. But his time in the house was dramatically cut short, but he's with us tonight on Bots. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Aaron.
You right? Yeah, you?
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good.
Aaron, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's all right. It's a pleasure to have you. Obviously, we thought that you deserved to have your interview because, obviously, you was ejected from the house. Yeah. Let's start with the circumstances that surrounded your exit. You've been out for 6 days now. Yeah. You've had a chance to watch the show back. You've had a chance to think about what happened in there. What is it you want to sort of get off your chest and say to the viewers? Yeah, like, in the whole process of, like, that night and everything and looking back, I've actually watched it, like, 10 times over. All I can say is a lot of people
got offended by it, especially Joel, and that wasn't my intentions at all. I've said sorry to him as well, and I would like to do a further apology to him and his family, but it was pure banter, and obviously you've got, people can take it, they found it funny or they're not, and literally, I've seen it as a funny thing, but it just goes to show that my funniness can get portrayed as being horrible or like over the line, and I generally am so sorry about it. I am not a bad person, so oh God, yeah.
Don't get upset. Don't get upset.
What I mean? But like I said, I'm so sorry. And I didn't mean to offend anyone. And like being labelled all these things, that's not in my nature. And I was just having fun. But like I say, I'm so sorry, everyone.
No, it's all right. And I think we appreciate the fact that you've come on here tonight and been able to say that. You've been out for 6 days now. I mean, what's it been like being out of the house? I mean, it's not the best way to leave the house, being ejected, let's be fair. It's probably the worst. But, I mean, how are you dealing with getting back to sort of civilisation?
Like when I got removed from the house, I went straight to see my mum. I went in the house to show my mum me, and obviously I was really worried about that. But she really accepted everything, and she was like, "No matter what, you'll always be my winner." So that was amazing for me. But overall, like outside the house, obviously from like Twitter and stuff like that, and loads of people have been really nice. But there's obviously going to be negatives and positives. But even when I was walking down in London yesterday, so many people like noticing me and saying, "Oh, you're amazing. I'm so sorry you had to leave the show," and stuff like that. So it's been quite an amazing experience, no matter what. But yeah, I'm taking every day as it comes, and hopefully, whatever happens, happens.
Well, exactly. I want to ask you, obviously, what's going to happen next, but I want to talk about what's going on in the house now, because obviously, since you left on Thursday, 4 out, 4 in has come in.
Oh,
what are you making of the newbies?
Oh, well, the newbies, like I say, they've definitely stirred up the house. Like I said, I don't know what I'll do if I was in that house right now, because some of my mates just left, so I'd have been a bit shocked. But, like, they definitely brought some pizzazz to the show, like showbiz and all that malarkey.
Showbiz. What are you making of Simon? Because obviously you were there on launch night when he was in.
Yeah, he's very attention-seeking. I've been watching the show recently. I don't understand, like, he says, "Oh, I'm not all about showbiz all the time," but that's all he seems to say.
Oh, my God, if I hear it one more time...
Like, I swear, like, I have nightmares about him all the time. He reminds me of that horror film, that one with the glove, and it just freaks me out.
With the glove?
I don't like him, but I generally like, think no matter what, even though I dislike him, he has brought something new to the house, and it's quite, like, not refreshing, but it's like, it stirs up, and it's quite exciting to watch, I guess, when you're outside looking in.
But with obviously the newbies arriving, like you said, 4 of your mates left on Friday night. Have you managed to see any of them and catch up with them?
Yeah, I seen Sarah last night. We went out for drinks in Soho. It was really nice, and she stayed at mine. But I've spoke to like Kieran and Harriet on the phone. I haven't spoke to the twins yet, but like I say, I'm sure we'll cross paths sooner or later.
I'm sure you will cross paths. Housemates are always housemates at the end of the day. Let's go back to the house. I mean, the new one's going in there. It's really shaking it up in there.
Yeah.
You know, it was unfortunate that you left the night before, but would you have been able to have lived with these 4? I mean, Mark, we keep mentioning him, and for everyone at home, please don't think we're not being biased before you all pipe up, but he is giving a hell of a lot in there at the moment. What would you have been like with Mark? Because he's gone in there and he is a force. Yeah,
like I say, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with at the end of the day. But, like, I think over time, at first he went in, like, being all the it boy and stuff, but I think there is a nice likability about him. And like you say, what you see is what you get with him. And I feel like he's going to be that character throughout. With, like, showbiz, like I say, I don't think he's a... I'm not,
You're not major fan, not major fan of Simon.
It's like the sad boy date's gone out there.
Yeah, no, we're going to be talking more about him later, but obviously we have seen that newbie and the original divide in the house. Is that going to start to merge soon? Because, you know, as Josie said, you know, in her year, you know, when the newbies come in, they were welcome with open arms, but it was still that us and them thing. Do you think, knowing them, being in there, will the new ones let the new ones in?
Yeah, 100%. The people in the house, like the originals, I call them,
they
are literally such nice people. That everyone's got a different character and everything like that. But I think over time, like Chloe, Nick, even like Eileen will start warming and the team will all come as one again.
I think we have seen a big change in Eileen, don't you think? Been quite a big change in Eileen since the new ones have gone in. But talking of her, Eileen and Joel are up for eviction this week. What are you making of that result?
Like I said, I really feel sorry for like, Eileen. Like, she's been up for, every single week since I was in the house.
Since she's been in.
But it's really hard because for me, like being in the house, I seen Eileen in so many different characters and I didn't understand which one she was. But then watching back on it, I think she is just a quirky individual and I really do like her. And like when I did the task the other week, the futuristic one, I said to her, evict Eileen, I felt really bad on that looking back now because she was just being herself. She's a quirky individual. With Joel, I wouldn't even nominate him, even though the circumstances of what happened. He is actually like, I class him as a friend. We had banter, we had jokes. Like, people called him Jaren all the time, you know what I mean?
Jaren.
Yeah, he's an interesting character, and I think he's got a lot to show.
Well, you said, obviously, you wouldn't have nominated Joel this week, but if you were in there, who would you have put up this week?
That's a good question. That's, oh, God.
Newbies exempt.
Yeah. I probably would have went with Christian.
Okay.
Christian with me is like, as much as I got along with him, he's just too full of himself. And if you, for example, there was a situation, I don't know if it's shown on like about the car. He was too embarrassed to admit they had a KA, and it was his sister's, but it was actually his. I was like, mate, there's no...
Nothing wrong with a KA.
At least you've
Other
got a car.
cars are available. Yeah, at least it's got
I don't
one.
even have a car. At least you've got one.
Who do you think is going to be out on Friday?
Tough calls. From the reaction of what I've seen being in the house, not being from outside, Eileen's got a massive like support. With Joel, I think there's a bit like people are a bit confused about him, but I just don't know. I think personally Joel might go.
So you think Eileen will stay on
I think
Friday?
Eileen's got more characteristics. She's more entertaining than Joel. Joel's only good when he like acts up in front of the camera when he's like given a task or something like that.
I know you're really, really close with Sarah, but obviously she's gone now. So looking at who's left, who would you want to win this series now?
I'm still rooting for Jack.
You're still Team
Yeah.
Jack?
All the
Why
way,
Team
like,
Jack?
Because Jack, for me, since I went in that house, he was like really questioning it. He didn't understand me. I went in like a zebra outfit and everything like that, you know what I mean? And he was a bit like, whoa. But every day I got to know him, and he's got like a heart of gold, and I really support him. I can't wait to take him out for a chippy when I get out.
Yeah, well, I could smell the chips in my dressing room. He's had chips tonight.
I love chippy.
He loves chippy. Listen, Aaron, we would like to invite you to join the panel tonight. Are you happy to stick around?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
For now, give it up for Aaron, guys. Thanks for coming on. Thank you. It's time for a break now, but coming up, Aaron will be joining the panel, as I just said, as we hear all of their thoughts on the latest House action. Plus, we offer the House some coping techniques from our favourite agony aunt, Denise Robertson, MBE. I'll see you after this. MBE! MBE! I never knew what it meant myself, but look, it says insecure, uncertain or anxious about oneself, not confident. That's me. I'm very insecure, babes. Welcome back to A Bit on the Side. Time now to see what our panel and audience make of tonight's House action. So let's kick things off with Jack. Mark said he was playing a game. So Nick, do you agree with Mark?
No, I don't actually. I really like Jack. I think he's really sweet. I can't see that he's not been genuine so far. I mean, it could change, but personally, I'm Team Jack. I
You're
like
Team
him.
Jack at the minute, aren't you?
I am.
James?
I do like Jack a lot. I do think there is another side to him.
I was going to say, I can sense a butt coming
Yeah.
in.
No, I do like him. And when he stood up for himself today, I thought it was fantastic. But he has got a side. We haven't seen that side yet. He properly kicked off. He had every right to, because I thought it was a really low blow, talking about his gambling issues. That's
Yeah.
not a reason to
Yeah.
nominate someone. I thought it was really actually out of
Well,
order.
it's not something he's done in the House, is
No.
it, you know?
But I do think there's a side to him that we haven't seen. I hope I'm wrong. But I do think there is another side to Jack that we haven't seen yet.
Jose, what do you think? Because, I mean, like James has just said, you know, he's blown today. Are the cracks starting to show a bit with Jack? Are we going to see a different side to him now?
I think he's been incredibly loyal to Eileen. I think he's been brilliant. And that was, like James said, that was an all-time low. You don't do that. He's told him about personal issues.
Yeah.
And they've used it against him. That tactic, sorry, but that is low.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
disgusting.
It is. It's
Absolutely
like
disgusting.
someone that's overweight. It's like saying, well, I'm a bit worried because they're going to eat it all.
Yeah, well, no, it's true.
It's out of order.
It is true.
It's out of order.
And it's not Sam's choice to decide what people, who the winner spends their money
Yeah,
on. you know.
exactly.
I'm not saying, you know, obviously...
We're not endorsing gambling, yeah, I know what you're saying,
like,
but...
the gambling issue is
if
horrendous.
Jack wins it, he
You
does
know,
what he
if he
wants with
wins
the
it, he
money.
can do what he wants with the money. So to watch that, obviously it hurt him a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
because of his issues. And then, you know, she's sitting there a dictator at what he's going to spend his money on.
But this thing, Aaron, I want to ask you, because obviously you were in there when Jack was faced with the car dilemma. We've seen a few times him bring up the car, haven't we? Saying, oh, I should have took the car now. What do you think from the inside? Because I know you've been watching it since you've been out, but being in there, do you think he does wish, I should have just took the car?
I was really close to Jack in the house, and to be honest, yeah, he always says about it. I think he's a young lad, it's a nice big car, and he was like, oh, I could have sold that car, and blah, blah, blah. But I was like, Jack, in all fact, he's got really upset, anyone would, do you know what I mean? It was a very nice car. But I literally said to him, mate, it was white, it's going to get dirty really quickly. It's true. And Jack is an amazing person. I really genuinely think he's legit, and I think he's a real person. And I think when he comes out, he's going to get bigger and better things than that car. Trust me. That's what I said to him.
I mean, that was guaranteed money for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an offer that's on the table. There's no saying that he's going to go on to win this show and get the £150,000. He had a guaranteed offer. You can take it now and leave. And for someone of his age, that's a massive thing
I'm
to
quite
have to turn
surprised
down.
because I think there's a lot of people in that house that would have walked.
Yeah,
I really am.
Especially Christian, it ain't a KA.
Yeah, we are. Other cars are available on the market. We love KAs as well. Listen, as we have discovered, there's one thing that the house won't be short of now the newbies has arrived, and that is arguments. Nominations kicked up a right royal stink in tonight's show, and agony aunt extraordinaire Denise Robertson, NBE, was on hand to impart all kinds of wisdom from the comfort of her own front room. Have a look.
Right, let's see what they've been up to now.
Because I spoke about it with you before I told... So you're a fucking snake is what you are.
No,
You nominate Eileen and you go, no, well, not fucking calm down. You go nominating Eileen behind her back. What are you going to do about it? Oh, I knew it. I said to everyone, you're a two-faced snake. I fucking knew it.
Two-faced.
I knew it.
You're two-faced.
He's coming out acting as Eileen's best friend. I'm more pissed off that Aunt 90's on it. I don't give a fuck if I'm nominated.
How can I be Eileen's best friend? I've only met you 3 days.
Don't worry, you don't talk to me now.
You're not my best friend.
No, definitely
not. You're not my best friend. You're not my best friend.
No, I know you're not my best friend. I never weren't my best friend with you. Fuck off.
He's coming out acting as Eileen's best friend.
Well, I hope they feel better for having got that off their chest. If they'd put half the energy into thinking things through that they've put into slanging one another, they would be a lot further forward. There is no point in an argument like that. For 2 or 3 minutes you feel wonderful because you put somebody down. But then comes the aftershock and you go away and you feel mean, and furthermore, you haven't got anywhere. So the purpose of an argument is to win the argument, and you do that by using this and not that.
I was so taken by Denise, I've just attacked this poor young lady with the mic. Are you all right? You're not going to have a clean-up, are you? Take us right to the cleaners for that. 2 eyes, 2 ears, we're good. Listen, I want to talk about Simon, but we'll talk about Simon in a bit of detail later. But for now, let's discuss Eileen. She stood up to Simon after he nominated her. Nick, you must have been a bit impressed by that. Come on, females.
Sorry, I'm still laughing
I know,
at the claim.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to hold
You know, where there's a blame, there's a claim.
Do you know what I mean? No win, no fee over here. You start,
I
I'll tell you.
You know, I thought Eileen, I was proud of her. You know, she's right, really. She was right to say a bit. It is hard in there because you've got to nominate, and sometimes the things you have to say to nominate you might not mean. Do you know what I mean? You know, you can't go in there and say, I just haven't spent enough time with him, because then Big Brother presses you until you go, do you know what, she's just a bitch and I can't stand her. And, you know, that's the truth.
I don't think Big Brother had to do a lot of pressing with you, babe. Let's leave now. Oh, tread over now.
Me? No way.
Me.
But no, I like Eileen. I think, you know, she is a bit annoying, I'm not going to lie, but I did think it was really funny. And then when she was trying to comfort him on the bed but couldn't help herself and launched into a further attack, I was like, yes! That was such a good episode. Loved it. Loved watching her do
Joe,
that.
do you think, I think this could be the potential making of Eileen if she doesn't go on Friday, because she has just turned and gone,
I agree.
What?
Yeah, she's far more entertaining. The thing for me, which I can't stop thinking about, is I can't stand Simon. I don't like him at all. Let's get that straight away. But with Eileen, she was complaining and moaning before she knew who it was. Now, has she watched the show before? You are going to get nominated at some point. And I find it really interesting the way people react when they get nominated. They start bitching and moaning and crying, and I can't believe I've been nominated. Get over it. I understand once she's found out it's Simon, but before we saw the Simon situation, she was already moaning.
Yeah, no, I can understand why she was already moaning, because it was the way it was done. It was just one name come into the house. It was like, oh, it's me, is it?
But it was going to be someone, wasn't it?
Of course it was going to be someone, but I think it's the fact that it was, one, it was Simon, who's an older housemate himself. Two, it's the fact that she was friends with him. But she didn't know that when she was moaning, at the beginning, when she was moaning and kicking off, she didn't know who it was, and she was still bitching and moaning. You go on Big Brother, you are going to get nominated.
Yeah.
And
obviously, you never got nominated, but you're wonderful.
You know. Well...
But you just got to deal with it, haven't you? You're not going to get on with everybody.
No, it's true.
I just thought, really?
I think she's going to be one to watch this week, though, Eileen, because she's turned into a bit of a firecracker. But there's two people I really want to talk about, and that's the new potential house romance, Nick and Harry. Anna Williamson was on yesterday, and she told us that she thought love was in the air. So, someone who knows all about a house romance, Josie!
Oh, yeah! Why did you bring that up?
You dirty mare! What's going on there? Is this going to happen?
I think Harry just likes male attention, and when she was bent over in front of Nick and he could see what she basically had for breakfast, I thought, oh my God. But yeah, I think she loves attention, whether it be male or women. She always got her bangers out and stuff. And what I didn't like is when she was in the garden with her little string on.
I mean, I don't see a lot of that myself, but I mean, I've seen a lifeful already. Do you know
I'm a Randy Mare, but to get in the garden with your string on and be bending over like that, have a bit of class about the randiness, you know.
Aaron's face is a picture there. She's like, oh, no.
My bum's better than hers.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be a bum off. Listen, well, Nick's all a bit of a fluster with Harry. We've seen that, but we can all breathe a sigh of relief that Jade is absolutely fine with this. She's absolutely fine. Have a look. She's fine.
It tasted lovely. Oh, sorry.
I think she's really lonely for something like
Aaron, you've obviously been in there with Jade. What do you think's going through her head now? Because she had Nick as pretty much a bit of her play toy, didn't she, really? And now he's sort of jumped ships. I can't believe he's turned into a bit of a Casanova.
I never seen that coming, but Jade, I was talking to Jade about, like, her thing with Nick, and she genuinely sees it as a friend, and she said on the outside world she comforts teddy bears, and she sees the boys as teddy bears. So if that's her thing, she does it to Christian as well. She's like, every day she moves around the guys, and whatever guy clings onto her, she holds onto it.
But what about Nick now? Because Nick's jumped ship. He ain't no teddy bear no more. Teddy bear's all grown up.
I think he's told me that he's not really experienced in that department, so I think he's hiding something.
I think he's going to learn a lot of Harry. Yeah, exactly. On that note, give him a round of applause. Listen, that's what that lot had to say. But if you want to get something off your chest at home, I'm going to be in the phone room tomorrow night taking your calls. And if you want to get involved, details are on the screen now. There they are. Look, 0333 577 7779. Stay with us, because after the break, we've got all the latest news from the House Plus. My Rachel Morris is back tonight. We love Ray. She's going to be here to give us her insight on the house romances. But first, on Friday, either Eileen or Joel will be the next victim of Big Brother's time bomb. Who goes? You decide! You decide. This week, Eileen and Joel face the public vote. Who goes? You decide. To evict Eileen, from a landline, call 090 20 44 58 07, or from a mobile, call 650 58 07. To evict Joel, from a landline, call 090 20 44 58 11, or from a mobile, call 650 58 11. Mobile BT landline votes cost 50p. Other landlines may vary. Or you can vote via the Big Brother app, where 2 votes will cost you 99p. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch-up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website.
I love finding a perfect match. For Glam You, there's Venus and Olay. It helps lock in skin's moisture. For On The Go You, there's Venus Snap. And for delicate you, there's Venus Embrace Sensitive for less feel of irritation. Because gorgeous, smooth skin is a perfect match for everything. Venus, find your perfect match.
Welcome back. Doing Rowan's bit on the side. The house is brimming with action and excitement. So without any further ado, it's time. And I'm going to take my time today for today's news. on the night. It's day 22 and Big Brother has transformed the house into the Beta fraternity. Oh, yeah, we're having a party. Some housemates, the brothers, are in control, and the rest of the housemates, the pledges, have to do as the brothers say. So at 10:23, Brother Mark revealed everything.
Pledges. That's used, bitches. Pledges must always be positive, obedient, moral, dedicated, and hard-working. Pledges must always do what their brothers ask. Pledges are not permitted to answer brothers back or display bad attitude to anything they are asked to do by their brothers. And remember, it's Master Lord, Brother Mark.
And are you enjoying your role in the house?
Oh, dear God, I think I'm enjoying it too much.
What is it you're enjoying about the role?
I love the power. I love obstructing the house. I am going to break people today. When I say break them, there's going to be factions breaking up. People are going to fight with each other, and that's what I want. I want people to have a laugh. This is supposed to be fun. I'm going to take full advantage of this, and God, this is for 2 days. If they want to kick me out after this, I deserve it, because I'm going to do it.
He's enjoying it. However, it seems that ex-army man Mark is sticking to what he knows best. He's less varsity jacket and he's a bit more full metal jacket.
Come on, Marshall. Start.
Good troops. Salute. And down.
Heels together when you're talking to me. Line up there. Turn face me. Stay there. Get up there, maggots.
I think he's got insecurity issues.
Brothers! We are the band of brothers. Sergeant Major Brother Mark. You fucking maggots. What's up, princess?
Nothing, Sergeant Major Mark.
Don't look at me in the eyes. Head down. Get down. Fucking don't be taller than me.
Everyone needs to be down.
Heels together. Heels together. Get down. Get down, maggot.
Hold on. I'm just putting it out there. Tomorrow night's show, I want to wear one of them jackets. Can we make that sorted? So Bronwyn says yes, I'm wearing one of them jackets. At 12:51 today, the pledges wearing special body-shocking suits for a challenge to give honest answers to some probing questions or else.
Chloe, is there a divide in the house?
I believe there is a divide in the house. I would say the divide is the old housemates plus Harry, and then Sam, Simon and Mark are on the other side of the divide. The reason being, I think Harry has asked us all lots of questions, really tried to get involved. It feels like she's been here all along. The other three, it seems like they've stuck together and they're relying on each other, which is unexpectable since though they came in together.
If any of the brothers are not satisfied with Chloe's answer, they should press the blue button now.
I don't believe it at all.
Push the button then. No! No, I can do it more than one! Fucking arsehole.
Right, bang! Listen, that wasn't the biggest shocker, because in the task, Eileen took her chance to put the brutal in brutal honesty. Have a look.
Eileen, who is the most two-faced housemate?
Simon, as he's terribly, terribly nice to my face, and then he goes in the diary room and nominates me for eviction due to my age, which he did bring up and say, oh, I was so upset when Kieran mentioned your age. You don't worry about it. We're together here. And the two-faced bastard goes into the diary room and says, oh, and then he, not only does he do that, he comes out and cries like a baby saying, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have done that. So for that, he's the most two-faced backstabbing of the lot so far.
Go on, Eileen! Eileen's going in! She's going in! And that's today's news. But you know what I fancy? I think it's time for a bit of Psych on the Sofa! That's right, I love a bit of Psych on the Sofa, and it gives me more pleasure to announce not just a friend of the show, but friend of mine. Give it up for Rachel Morris! That worked. Oh, that's a shot, I tell you. Rach, I'm so happy to have you back. I've
lovely
missed you.
to be
Isn't it
here.
lovely to have Rachel back? But Right, listen, we need to shed some light, don't we, on this whole bromance situation. Why do boys do it?
Well, it's interesting that we call it bromance because when two nice, loving, sensitive, artistic kind of lads have another mate, we call them mates or a friendship.
Yeah.
The only time we use the word bromance is for extremely overtly macho men who couldn't possibly have a relationship with another friend without it being a bit gay.
Yeah.
So it's actually a really kind of homophobic, sexist word, really, because it's to describe two men who can't have friendships.
Whoa.
So this is what this whole thing is about. Mark has come in here and he's really illustrated this idea of a spectrum of machismo.
Machismo?
So, yeah, like a whole wedge. So if you imagine the younger lads at the bottom, Jack and Joel and Nick, and generally guys who don't really engage in that whole machismo thing, maybe because they're not particularly good at sports or they're the wrong shape or they're just not good looking enough or they're gay. And then you go right out to the other end of the spectrum where you've got lads like Mark who are... I mean, obviously incredibly over the top.
Yeah.
But there's something about him that everybody is responding to, and it's partly because there's something quite paternal almost in it.
Well, there's someone who's really responding to that, and that's Christian. Let's take a look at their bromance. I mean, what are you making of them?
I think the thing about Christian is he is a wannabe Mark. He doesn't want to be as brusque or as rude, but right from the beginning, you know, he's a rapper, he wants to be down, he didn't want to share a bed with another bloke, even though he clearly kind of is quite middle-class and educated. But I think, you know, he sees something in Mark. He's kind of amazed and mystified by the fact that he can do what he wants.
So he sort of looks up to Mark a little bit, do you think?
I really think he does, and there was some classic clips. I don't know which one we're going to show first.
Well, we'll have a look at one in a minute, but Mark is a massive character, isn't he? Do you see anyone else sort of gravitating towards him other than Christian?
Mark is going to affect all the men in the house because he's brought this incredible kind of macho rules. It's like every lad...
This is his perfect task, isn't it? This fraternity task. This is his dream task.
You made his birthday wishes come true for the next 55 years. But the thing about him is, yes, he's immature, he's overly macho, he's simplistic, and he's rude, but he's also charming, quick-witted, and manipulative. So he's actually going to create incredible impact in the house. The thing about Mark in this Big Brother house that's different from some of the macho behaviours we've seen in the past is he's on his own.
Yeah, well, you say that, but today, you haven't seen this yet, but today Christian seems to be very much following in his footsteps. Have a little look, have a little look.
Everybody leave the living area! Now!
Yes!
Make those cups of coffee quicker! Let's go! 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 No! Thank you. Why are you walking on your tiptoes? Walk on your tiptoes! Walk on your heels! Walk on them heels!
I mean, he's definitely rubbed off on him, isn't he? What are you making of that?
All I've got to say is Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo. That's what I got there. That's what I got going on.
Do you think Big Brother's playing a bit of a part in that friendship? Because obviously they've put them together as the brothers. They've obviously seen that, haven't they?
They've seen it. That came first. Big Brother went, oh, this will be fun.
Yeah.
And he's like a little puppy. Look at me. Look, I can be like you, Mark. I can do what you can do. It's quite interesting because Mark's really got nobody in there to challenge him. Danny stood up to him at the beginning, but actually he kind of got crushed by Mark's hugeness, if you like. And it's quite interesting that we've got James over there, because I remember working on his show, and you know, James had some of that thick edge of the wedge as well in terms of machismo, but he had Gary Busey and he had Audley to kind of battle him down, and the three of them kind of fought it out up at the big end. But here, Mark's left entirely to his own devices.
So he's pretty much ruling that roost at the minute when it comes down to it.
Well, I'm afraid so.
Let's move on to the little unexpected threesome in the house of bromance, Joel, Jack and Nick. What are you making of them three together?
Well, of course, they're on the thin end of the wedge, and men who...
Have a look. They're so different, aren't they? This is brilliant. I'm so glad we've got this clip.
You see, this is the sensitive, artistic, the kind of simple lads. And
look.
Oh.
Look. Love it.
You see, that would be my catchment area for friendships,
Yeah.
for sure, and rather than the other side. But I think for them, there's a very good chance in their lives, because of the society we live in, that they've been given a really hard time in the past by boys like Mark and boys like Christian, who would be Marks. So for them, they're ganging together because 3 of them might just be big enough to hold them off.
To take on one.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. I mean, I think it's fair to say that since Kieran left, it seems they've maybe turned to Danny for a bit of guidance as that sort of alpha, because he's an original and stuff like that. Actually, James actually tweeted the other day, he said, what did James say? He said, feel for Danny so much. Not only did he lose his best mate in the house, he lost what I think was his future girlfriend, maybe not now. So, obviously, Danny has tried to take on that alpha role, and is that why maybe we saw them clash on Friday night when he come in?
Definitely. In fact, Kieran says, one of the last things Kieran says as he leaves the house is, take care of my house.
Yeah.
Take care of my house, which is yeah, I know.
Don't.
It nearly makes me cry, I know. But he did say that. But poor Danny, Danny isn't a Kieran. It's not, I mean, he's beautiful, he's one of my favourites, I think he's a lovely lad, I really do. But he's kind of in the middle. He's not the thin end, he's not the fat end, he's just kind of in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, and I think he's really lost. Because Christian and Kieran were in the middle with him, but like I said, Kieran's a wannabe Mark. Christian is a wannabe Mark. Kieran's gone. Danny's not one of those boys. He's kind of forced into a parental role.
I'm very interested to see how Danny's going to take on that role in the house, and I'm so happy you're back.
Oh, well, I've loved being here.
Will you come back?
Yes, please.
Give it up for Rachel.
Thanks, darling.
Coming up after the break, our panel and audience will be unmasking Showbiz Simon. And if you want to be part of our lovely studio... our studio audience, details are on the screen now. But first, for one unlucky housemate, their time in the Big Brother house is going to be cut short on Friday. Who goes?
You decide!
You decide. This week, Eileen and Joel face the public vote. Who goes? You decide. To evict Eileen, from a landline, call 090 20 44 58 07, or from a mobile, call 650 58 07. To evict Joel, from a landline, call 090 20 44 58 11, or from a mobile, call 650 58 11. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 50p. Other landlines may vary. Or you can vote via the Big Brother app, where 2 votes will cost you 99p. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch-up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. Welcome back to Big Brother. Now listen, we've reached the part of the show I'm quite sensitive about. I think Simon might be about to steal my crown for TV's most dramatic cry. Nope, still got it. Tonight's show, Showbiz turned out to be a bit more no-biz. Have a little look at this, they will never beat me.
I don't like listening to home truths about myself. I've got to start trying. I promise you, I do like you. I promise you, I do like you.
Oh, sweetheart.
I do like you.
Oh, sweetheart.
I'm not a bitch today. I'm not. I'm not. Sorry, Simon.
So maybe he came in and just...
I'm not.
Yeah, I know he made a mistake, and I've said he's made a mistake, and obviously he regrets it.
You told me to go get you on.
I'm not one tear we shed.
Right? Not me. Shut up! Nick, was Chloe and this not right? I mean, crocodile tears or...?
Oh, 100%. It was brilliant. I loved the fact that he was really trying to cry and everyone was pissing themselves. It was he was 100% faking, and you know, he claims to be this amazing actor. I mean, I can cry better than that if I just want a pair of shoes.
I've made a living out of it.
absolutely shocking he was, and I'd have just had to tell him. I wouldn't have just. I'd have had to say, for goodness.
Well, listen, someone who knows Simon a bit better is his sister Natalie, who's on the line. Nat, hello, Nat. You're all right, babe. Thanks for calling in. Listen, Nat, we saw Simon nominate Eileen because she's an older housemate. Do you think that's fair? Because obviously Simon, he's not far behind her.
No, he's not, and I don't think it's true that he just nominated her because of her age. There was context around it in terms of her experience. You know, he's met her on the outside, and seen her have other opportunities, and he also wanted her to use her experience in the house maybe more than she has been doing, and that's a valid opinion because Big Brother doesn't accept non-valid opinion, so, you know, that was his opinion. You know, it might have been a bit odd, but it was his opinion.
I mean, Eileen obviously didn't take too strongly to that opinion now. I mean, but we obviously saw Simon cry earlier today. I mean, were they real tears?
I might be on my own if I say they were. I think that, you know, he is very dramatic when he's emotional, and he does make quite a lot of sound similar to what he was making on TV.
Do you think maybe this is? Do you think this is the acting training coming in?
No, not at all. You know what? He never professes to be the most amazing actor in the world. All I'd say is he is dramatic. Every response you're going to get out of him is either going to be a high or a low, and it's going to be over the top. And that is him. It's not fake. That is.
It's true. That is him. It is him. That definitely.
It really is.
How do you think? Now, how do you think he's going to cope in there? How do you think he's going to develop as a housemate? Obviously, we lost him on launch. What are we going to get out of him now? You know him. Tell us the gossip.
Look, I think it's going to take him a little while to come back from losing him at launch. So I'm hoping that he gets through Friday all right, and we get to see a few sides of Si. And I don't mean he's a snake, because he's not. He's not bright enough to be a bleeding snake, to be honest with you. And you know, he's got a lot of different sides. You're going to get highs, you're going to get lows, you're going to see sweetness, you're going to see bitchiness, and maybe things that maybe are, you know, a little bit vile. But he is, you know, deep down, he's a nice guy. Not everyone's always going to like him, but he's a nice guy.
Do you know what? Now, I hope he does. I hope he does get the opportunity to show that off. And you know, he is safe this Friday. He's got another week in there at least. But for now, give it up for Natalie. Thanks for ringing in, Nat. Thanks, babe. Simon went on to say that he'd leave the house, as it would be the honourable thing to do. James, could we see him walking out?
Never. No. I mean, he's self-obsessed. Yeah, I mean, we had it in our house as well. There was a particular person that kept saying they were going to leave. Leave, there's the door. The door's at... I can't remember. But you don't say things like that unless you're going to follow it through, and he said it several times as well, and that becomes boring after a while.
Do you think if the housemates went, all right, then go on in, ta-da, do you think he would have gone?
No. Definitely not.
Simon was disgusted by being out, so there's no way he's going to walk. He's been dying to go back. So
he has been dying to get back in there.
But I do think
Thank you for my painting earlier.
That's
that was
all right,
lovely. You've done
darling.
lovely painting for me.
I just think that he might walk because everybody's... If everybody's against the man and they all hate him and they're all kind of...
Do you know what? I'd be very, very shocked seeing him leave on launch night and then looking at like things like his Twitter and things like that he would just let it all go. But that's gonna... Well, time will tell. Let's see. But listen, he weren't the only newbie who's been in tears over the last 24 hours. Have a look.
I got sad about a bee. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, I was sad earlier, and I got drunk, and then it got to me a little bit because he's gonna die. There you go.
Don't let that get you down, Mark.
I don't even know why a bee is making me sad. We're dead.
Are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
I was showing up. No, don't be sad. But Mark,
Makes me like him more.
Mark crying over a bee. There's obviously a softer side to him, Joe, isn't there?
Has he killed the bee?
We can't confirm nor deny what has happened with the bee. That no bees were harmed during the filming of Big Brother 2015.
To be honest, I just think he's bollocks. We've all been there, haven't we? You have a bit to drink. Whoa!
He's been on the lash.
Whether it be a bee or what, but I do think he is one of the best housemates of all time. Yeah. He is going to be amazing. He's...
Not as good as you, Aaron, let's talk about this softer side. Do you think this sort of lad is a bit of a front? I mean, we've said it, you know, since he's gone in. Do you think he will calm down and just settle in now?
Yeah, totally. Like, when he went in, I thought, like, he had to prove a point and stuff like that. And I feel like over time, like, when he offended Chloe, immediately after went and apologised and stuff like that. And I feel like, even though he's putting a front, I think he's actually a genuine person. I feel like that's his little banter of coming across, and I think it's fine.
Joe,
it's so entertaining.
I can hear the music coming in. Who's out on Friday? Very quick. Joel! Eileen! They're split, but for now, give it up for our panel. Wallow! Loved it. I'm afraid that's all I've got time for tonight. Thanks to my panel and our fantastic audience. I'm back here tomorrow with Emma Delstar, Gemma Houghton, Jimmy Bullard, Dexter Coe and Matt Richardson. See you tomorrow at 11. Night night.